Good evening and welcome to the best evening talk show in the capital, The Dish. My name is Miriam Mensah, your host. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're coming to you live from our MX24 studios at Oleander Street, East Legon, Accra. Now, the season has already begun and it promises to be even more exciting, engaging, thought-provoking debates and, of course, empowering insights on the issues that matter the most to women and their development. Join us as we continue to amplify women's voices, challenge the status quo, and spark meaningful change. In fact, we are absolutely set for another season. And this season, yeah, guys, the women that are going to be coming on this show, they'll make you understand that there is a reason why God created this species called women. Yes, real impact, women who are making actual impact. And I was telling my producer the other day that, listen, for a young girl today, she's looking at people on television, and the women that are making the mark are behind the cameras. They are actually behind the cameras completely, far away from the camera, actually. And sometimes we need to bring them here to have those conversations that will change the lives of our young adults. In fact, myself, I'm here to learn. And so earlier on, when we're preparing for the show, I told them that, listen, I'm the examiner, but listen, I'm here to learn. So let's learn together. Let's grow together here on the show. Again, a big thank you to Deco for this beautiful, beautiful set. I keep telling you that, listen, if you want that house to be a home, you want that house to feel like a place you want to go to, like you really want to leave the office to go home, run to Deco, get those pieces, get those furnitures, get those things that will motivate you at home to want to even go back home. Because sometimes it's really the things that are in your house, like, but Deco will turn that whole house into a home. A big thank you to Deco. Also to Betway, Cowbell Coffee, Flora Tissues, and Tango Washing Powder. Hey guys, let's talk about something we all want. Success. Everybody wants it. Everybody dreams of it. We all aspire to succeed and make a mark in life. We push ourselves to excel, enduring challenges along the way just to be successful. Charlie, when work gets tough, which I bet it will, you need that extra boost to keep you pushing, to keep you going. And on those days where you need someone to be there for you, Cowbell Coffee will be by your side. It's a rich, creamy 3-in-1 blend with a great taste and aroma that will kickstart your day. Whether you are working or just creating amazing memories with friends and loved ones, Cowbell Coffee will be with you every single moment. So no matter where you are at, as you chase after those goals, keep Cowbell Coffee close to stay motivated and going. Remember, Cowbell Coffee is with you every moment, okay? Let me remind you that this is an interactive conversation, it's an interactive show, so send in your comments and reactions and everything your thoughts are right here to our social media platforms. It's MX24GH on all social media platforms. Remember, the hashtag is The Dish on MX24, The Dish on MX24. So get in here. Let's have a conversation. Today, the topic is about building character and substance. And building character and substance is a journey of self-discovery and growth, especially for women who often face unique challenges. Yes, I'm saying unique challenges. Someone was saying that women are so entitled. Well, the challenges we face, men cannot understand. There are certain challenges everybody can relate, but the one for women, nobody can understand. And in their personal and professional lives, as we strive for success and fulfillment, it's essential to focus on cultivating the inner qualities that truly define us. Join us as we explore the transformative power of personal development and character building, including the cultivating of resilience, integrity, leadership skills, and emotional intelligence. Guys, this conversation, emotional intelligence, I know a lot of people are like, okay, y'all find this fancy names for all these situations, but today we're going to see if it's a fancy name for a situation or it's a real situation a real conversation that we all need to have. Together, let's discover how these essential traits can help women unlock their full potential, achieve lasting success, and make meaningful impact in the world. Today, we're joined by the very beautiful, this woman, she's under covers doing things. In fact, both of them have the same traits. They seem not to be like they're there, they're not there. Okay, let's start. Dedo Kofi, business coach, and she likes to be very moderate with herself. She likes to be very modest with her personality, but she's more than just a business coach. She is more than that, guys. And also joining us, Anita Okorie, Madam Anita Okorie, team lead at Dedo. Hey, ladies. Hi. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. Dedo, how are you doing?
Very well.
She's always like, okay. Like she always has that look, and you're wondering if she's the person for the conversation until you start.
Oh yeah.
And then you realize that, oh, wow. You always give that wow factor. Anita, another one who's like hiding behind the scenes. If you call her CEO of Deco Zone, she'll kill you. If you, whatever big name you give to this one, she'll run away from it.
We don't like the big names.
She likes team lead at Deco Zone because when you go there, she's actually leading.
Okay.
You know, there's...
because I use the same as well.
Awesome.
Yeah?
Team lead, yeah.
I mean, people will think it's like a modest way of presenting yourself, but really and truly, if you are a leader, you don't look for the accolades.
No.
You just do what you have to. You do the work. Okay, now let's jump into the conversation for today. But I hope we're all doing well.
By grace.
Awesome. Let's get into the conversation of character development towards work. How relevant is character development towards work? How relevant is it for you ladies who are thriving in the industries that you belong to? Who's going to start? Okay, Dedo is the coach.
Yeah.
Dedo is the coach, so we're going to start with the coach.
Right. Okay. So, character. Character is a very powerful way. So, building character takes a lot of intentionality, and for me, it's something that I have built over the period, and I'm still learning to build character, because when you come to realize that, okay, there's this thing that I do that is not okay, and I need to work on it, and you actually work on it, that's how you build. But knowing that, because when you know yourself, you know that these are the things I know how to do. It comes to me naturally. But these other ones I struggle with, or these other things I do, but they're not right. I mean, I'll use an example. For example, if you call me, if I'm supposed to be somewhere and you called me before, where are you? I say, I'm coming. I'm almost there.
Yeah. But
I'm almost there. Well, with my friend, maybe I'm in my room, maybe I'm just trying to, but I'm not almost there. I'm maybe 30 minutes or an hour away. And I actually decided that, and it was difficult. I was surprised how difficult it was to say the truth about where you are. For me.
Anita is laughing.
But I said to myself, no, I'm going to try, because I want to try and then work on my timing, and then also try and be truthful about where I am when it comes to timing. So even sometimes I'll be typing, I'll say, oh, I'm 5 minutes away, but I'm 7 minutes away. And then I'll be doing it. And because I have decided to consciously do that, that voice will tell me, you said you were going to be truthful about this, so delete the 5, make it 7. And I don't even know why. Do you understand? So building character, it's in the little things and then also in the big things. And you do it over the period. And I've told my team, if I call and I say, where are you? Don't tell me I am almost there, I'm here. When you know let's be, so far as the intention is right, it's okay. It's okay. Do you understand? So long as you are going to be truthful about what you're doing. So when we talk about character, it's a lot of different things, and we all have the kind of character that we know we need to build up for ourselves.
Right.
And with your clients, if there's something that you cannot do, I don't know how to do very well, you're dealing with people, and people can relate with that. So it's okay to tell the client, okay, I'm going to work at it. This one we're very good at, but this one, and they understand you. People work with you not necessarily because you are the best person for them, but because they connect with you to a certain level. And so if you can be true to them in that sense, they would appreciate it than for you to say, oh, I can get it done, and then you mess it up. Do you understand? So that's where some of your character, oh, she's always lying about what she can do and what she cannot do. People cannot judge you. So character building, it's something that we have to make an intentional effort.
It's very important as you...
And it's very important in dealing professionally, and then in dealing with people. If I take some money, you tell me you'll give me 1,000 cedis, I give it to you, and you say, I'll give it back to you next week. and you don't give it back next week, and you pretend like you've forgotten about it, it's not okay.
It's not
And
okay.
those
And that's all part
little
of character building.
It is, yes. It's important, very, very important. And when we take our friends for granted, it's very bad. I walk into Deco Zone and I pick some things, and because of the friendship I have with Anita, she trusts me and she says, oh, you can take it away. We'll pick up the money tomorrow. Or you say, oh, next week. And then that's it. It's 1 month, 2 months, and then you are not even communicating. It's so bad. So those you have to intend. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to owe people and not pay. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to. It's some of them is like white lies.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's a lot of work on yourself so that you can build that strong character, which becomes part of who you are and what you
I was going to say that have you gotten there, but I also remember that you told us earlier
when
that
I was
you are
coming.
still work in progress. And so,
Yes, but when I was coming here, I think I messaged.
You did,
Yes.
you did, and
I was
right
on my
about the
way.
time that you said you were going to be here, you were almost here.
Yes.
So I mean, she's staying true to it.
Yep.
Anita, on your side, do you think that you've arrived on that area
Oh, no.
Okay, tell me about your personal experience and what you think character building is for you personally.
Well, very similar to what Dedo just spoke about. You know, character building is something that the small things that are etched into you with growth. So as you're growing as an individual, as a business person, as a parent, as whoever you are building character. So those things that you get to be known by. For instance, you don't want people to know you as a business person that, oh, this person is not honest. You don't want people to know you that, oh, this person is always late. Those are not traits that you want people to know you by. So that intentionality is extremely important because we are still work in progress, all right, but then you need to know that, okay, this is actually who I want to be recognized as. This is what I want people to know me for. People should know me that I'm an honest person because in building my business, I cannot deal with people just by telling lies.
Right.
With time, I'll lose trust.
Yes.
And I cannot grow personally or individually, and I cannot grow the business as well. So it's extremely important that we watch the things that, you know, are forming us. Even from, I realize that there are courses that are being taught in schools on character building.
Yeah.
You know, children, even at home, what you're teaching your children is all part of character building. What do you want them to be known for? Do you understand? How do you want to be recognized as? So that is mainly what it means. And for us as business people, I think it's extremely important that we are intentional how we want people to see us and our businesses.
I mean, that's how you build trust.
Yes.
Again, like you both rightly said. So, still on character building, but let's digress a little bit. How do we cultivate resilience in the face of adversities as a business, as even women? You know, when we are faced with adversities, how do we cultivate resilience? Because I know that your businesses might not be one of those businesses that you were able to run smoothly. I mean, we're in Ghana. So different challenges you will be met with. How do you face them, and what strategies have worked for you both? I'll have to start with you.
Yeah. No problem. Well, on a daily basis, we are faced with different challenges. So as part of even character building, you need to learn how to be able to, you know, handle issues as and when they come. And growing up, there are ways that you handled issues when you were probably a student. You cannot do same today as an entrepreneur, as someone who has employees or workers under you. We are evolving, we change. And there are issues. I mean, the amount of issues we are faced with as business people on a daily basis, Charlie, from your supplier to your customer to your staff, it's a lot. So personally, Charlie, to the money, that one.
The money.
Yes.
The money.
How are you able to handle all? Look, there are days that you wake up and you actually do not want to be at work. But then personally, I think about it in this way. Look, I have people who are depending on me for survival. I have workers who we need to pay. If the products on the shelves are not being sold, how do you pay at the end of the month? You understand? So you need to have a certain mindset. Yes, when problems come, deal with it in the best way that you can. You understand? But you have to focus on the goal. Where you are getting to, where do you want to get to? Sometimes I shrug it off a little bit and I say, look, let's go. There are days that I've actually sat in my car before I get into the showroom, wipe the tears off, and I get, hello, how is everyone doing? You have to wear that cap, not to say that you are not soft. Yes, we are women. We have that softness and all that, but we need to be strong enough to be able to build that which we say we are building.
Wow.
It's very important.
That's intense.
The way I look at it is, when you are faced with a problem, there's only so much that I can do. And there's another side that I wish I had the power to bring the exchange rate down. But I cannot.
But you cannot.
So
you cannot.
If it's a problem I'm having right now, no amount of crying, no amount of worrying can change that. So when there's a problem, I have to look at it. What can I do about the problem? And I would do the very best that I can. The rest that I cannot do anything about, I just have to leave it, and things will pan out. And it takes a lot of time to cultivate that mindset, because when you have problems, you can't sleep. You are worried in the night, and then it affects your health. So after going through it a couple of times, you know that it's either this thing called business that I'm trying to do will kill me before
I will kill it.
Yes. So I have personally decided
winning at this.
I will kill it. Yeah. So I do what I can. The rest I leave it to God.
To God. Let's stay on this a little bit. In Ghana, right? Because I mean, the first one was a bit general, but again, but in Ghana right now, as businesses, what are some of the challenges you're facing? You are in an industry that Ghanaians are now gradually navigating towards it. Like the average Ghanaian is thinking of, let my room be a certain way, but it didn't used to be the case. Now you as well. I mean, I don't know what are some of the challenges you're faced with, and again as women in the industry that you find yourself in, and how have you been able to not allow that challenge kill you, but you kill it?
Anita and I do similar business on one side, and I think even putting the type of business aside, you have staff issues to deal with, and that comes in different ways, in terms of how they show up, getting the right kind of staff, recruiting them. All of those things are different things to do, and depending on where you are in your business, you probably cannot hire someone to recruit for you, so you have to do that yourself. And going through that process to get the right person can be an issue. And when they come in, trying to get them to do what you expect them to do. So apart from that, you're also working with clients, and you have different clients. Being able to work with them to satisfy them the way they expect to, and to make sure that your team is on the same, it's also another process. And then also, we have to buy things and sell, and we need money. And how do you, I mean, it's a lot of sleepless nights trying to plan, where do I get money from? How do I do this? How do I get this done? Because to get the loan, no, adding. So
Ghana loan.
The interest rates and all of that. So we have amazing ideas, but
support.
Small. Yes. So the issues to grapple with are a lot. But like I always say, we don't focus on the problems. We focus on how we can solve it. Small. I can do this. I can do this today. Let's see what happens tomorrow. So we pick it bit by bit. There's so many different things. And then you have your own self to deal with. And then your family. Do you understand? So, and then your friends. because you cannot live as an
Some
island.
women have resigned from doing this friendship thing because with all that I'm dealing with, I cannot do.
You can deal
It's
with
a whole
it.
package.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to deal with it.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah, and that's what
When people
makes
say
us.
they resign to friendship, I really don't.
Oh, no, but I've seen people who, like, they see you amazing, be like, you know what, I wish I could do this whole friendship thing with you. People have actually resigned from life, and I've seen a couple of women who is like, you know what, I love this whole thing that you have with your friend going on. It's cute and everything, but I'm not doing friends no more.
I think this is something we'll talk about as we go on.
Yeah.
Yes, because we need it.
Now, one would say that women are naturally born leaders. We are born nurturers, and those are some qualities that in a leader, you need someone who is understanding, empathetic, nurturing, and all these things are things that it is assumed, or we would say that is already in it when it comes to women. But we've seen some failed, leadership from women as well. And so how do we build, so for instance, as a young lady, I want to be a leader in my team. I don't want to be a manager. I don't want to be one that is not doing the leadership thing right. How do we build that? And I'm going to start with you because I have experienced her with her stuff before, and I'm like, I could never be this kind of boss because please, we're not doing this here. I don't have the patience.
Yeah.
But after being around her for a couple of days, I'm like, oh, actually, this thing, it works. It gets people to do what you need them to do. So tell me how you were able to build your kind of leadership that you run in your business. However, could that be the standard for everybody?
It's so interesting that you actually you started off with that example because look, that was so not me 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So look, it comes with a lot of experiences, a lot of growth. You mature into that role as you go on. I had before coming into, so I run the family business and then the cousin as well. So I veered into the family business right after returning from the UK, and you know how it is.
Yes.
You have to be on time. You're not here at 8 o'clock.
Boss is angry.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes.
And that's the opposite of what you know
I
now.
saw.
And you know how Ghanaians are a bit more phlegmatic, laid back when it comes to work, I couldn't just handle it. And naturally, as someone who, not that I'm bossy, but I want to be in control. I want to understand why doesn't it make sense to you that you should be at work at this time and you are not here?
Yeah.
It wasn't making sense to me at all.
You have no good reason.
And you have no good reason. And not just within my field. Like I remember one time going to one restaurant, a popular restaurant. I said, look, I need to speak to your manager right now. And the lady was looking at me like, which manager? Because I didn't understand why people do the way they do. But it comes with growth, maturity, things that I have learned over the period of working with people from different walks of life. We've had maybe SS leavers, HND holders, degree holders, different people from different walks, and they all come with different character to the table. They bring different things to the table. So it's with time. So to get to that place, it was not a joke.
I know.
I had to, part of character, but I had to realize that, look, I became more empathetic, I feel, towards how people do things, why they are then making more excuses. Some, not to, I mean, yes, when I have to, call you out, yes, I will. There's always that line with me, yes. But with time, I learned that, look, you need to have a way, you need to understand the people, try to, get into their minds a little bit to find out why they are even behaving the way they do. And I learned something from Mrs. A about picking Mrs. Awoshika.
Oh.
And it's, take how much can you actually get from them? Is it 60% good that you can find in someone? Take that and throw the 40 away. Because really, maybe that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Yes.
Or maybe that's all they can offer.
Yeah, because I'm not perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. So once I get the best, to an extent, I'll manage the rest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because when I was around her, girl, I was squirming and holding my breath because I could never. There was a pace that we wanted the project to go, right? And sometimes I'll just sit back and, I'll just disappear in the room. You realize I disappeared a lot because I could not.
Yeah.
And I was imagining my team doing that. I would have killed a lot. But I saw the patience she handled her team with. And it was like, see, for the girls, it was like a sisterhood, like, big sister and her younger sisters. It's like, okay, this is beautiful. Just that we need a lot of work to get here, me personally. But I love that you said that, a lot of work went into you getting here. Dedo, you? I have not seen you with your team before, so I cannot speak for you.
I've also evolved in terms of personality and when it comes to work, because in my personality, I'm more... I grant a lot of grace to people. And so that's how I started my business. I was very nicey, sweetie. And then you see the effect of that. People take you for granted. And so I had to learn to be more stern. I had to be more firm and draw the line and all of that. So because we're different personalities. That's my personality. That's how I show up. And so there's a lot of it that works well. And I have found that over the period, I went from the very nice person to trying to be the macho person. And then once I became that, it also had its own effect as well. So now we're in the middle ground. You need a bit of both. And so trying to make sure that you balance it very, very well. It's very important.
But as a business coach, again, you've established that balancing the two would be necessary. But based on the characters because we're all different, what generally works for the ecosystem that we belong to, Ghana? Because I have also heard people who have come from the diaspora and said that, in Ghana, being the sweet boss is so not the best.
It doesn't work.
Because your business will run down.
That's true. But then you cannot take the sweetness out.
Yes.
That's true. You can, but you cannot. Unfortunately, it seems that the people who we work with at a certain level want to be controlled, and so it's like, okay, you do this, you do that, you don't do this. We say these things like, oh, when they work for the Lebanese people or the white people, they are doing it because they don't have some of the grace that we grant them. And so we're thinking that maybe that's how they want to be treated. To an extent, maybe yes. But I also think that you cannot take the human, the empathetic side of things out. I went to a store where the lady, it was a shop. I mean, I was buying things, and at the end of the till, there's a lady standing there who takes the things and put in the bag. And she needed to use the restroom. She had to ask permission. But it's, for me, and that's maybe going another way, I feel that this whole conversation goes with how people's minds are built right from the start, from the home, and then when they get into education, how are we teaching them so that because we are all complaining about the same thing, which means something fundamentally has to be done in terms of how people show up.
Absolutely.
From primary school, when they are in university, and we can start somewhere. So I feel that it's something that should be part of our educational system. To say this is the mindset that people should have to show up, so that even if I go to primary school or I just do up to secondary school, I still have that mindset in my mind. But nobody's teaching us, and we are expecting it to just happen. It won't. So it has to be an intentional thing that we do to make sure that people, and when we learn, we have confessed that there are things that, ways that we wear that we have changed because we learned. So if you teach people, they would learn.
They would learn. Ladies, you are giving us a lot to learn right here on the show this evening. But to you out there, are you learning? Well, we need to do that, and that is why we've designed such a brilliant show for you. We're going for a quick commercial break. When we return, the conversation continues right here on The Dish. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to the best show on your television evenings right here in Ghana. You can argue with your phones, but this is the best because, again, we're touching on relevant conversations that matter to, first, the people that make the society. And I'm saying this to say that our homes make the society, and those who make the home need to be sane. I'm saying sane because there's so much going on in the world right now that sometimes you are questioning yourself as a woman, but we're here to validate that feeling and also to help us learn, okay? Back into the studios, I still have Anita Okorie, team lead at Decor Zone, those who have made this set very beautiful, and Dedo Kofi. This woman, I've been looking for her. Anytime I meet her anywhere, I was like, I've been looking for you, and then I stopped following up. Welcome back. Now let's touch on the conversation of emotional intelligence to lead a team and how women can cultivate that to improve their relationships at work with people. Because again, we've heard, and I say this to say that, listen, we see it everywhere now on social media, and you have to build emotional intelligence. Now, the person who's talking about building emotional intelligence, if you know them personally, you're like, you do not have that, girl. But it sounds like a very fancy name that people are using now. But how do we do that? Because for a young girl who's watching this evening, what is emotional intelligence in the first place? And how do I build that? How do I get that into my life? Let me start with you, Dedo.
Right. So there's something I wanted to say, and it's a very defining moment for me.
Okay.
When my mentor said, or when I learned from my mentor about being true to who you are.
Right. So back to the conversation of integrity.
Yes, integrity or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But even we're talking about emotional intelligence.
Okay.
Being true to who you are is so important. And what that means is that knowing who I am, knowing what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, what I can do, what I cannot do, and then embracing what I need to learn to make myself better so I can show up best for the world. And I think that is very important for everyone to, if you want to be emotionally intelligent, the word that we've coined for this, you have to start by knowing yourself. So like you're saying, someone who's talking about emotional intelligence, but you know that this person,
a generator.
They are upset, and so we throw out all these words, and it's like they are fancy words, but behind all of these words is the work that we have to do to show up in that way. And obviously, they have to find names for these things so that we can work at it. And so being emotionally intelligent is knowing how to show up at every point in time. So let's say, for example, with my team, I remember I had a situation where I was angry. I was so angry. I knew that the moment I opened my mouth, whatever I'm going to say, I will probably regret what I say. So in that moment, I was able to take it in and decide to just keep quiet, not say anything at that moment. So after, it was a weekend, so after a few days, then I sat the young ladies involved down, and then I had a conversation with them. I think that the outcome was very good because it made them look deep, more reflective, and then they knew that what they did was wrong and more accepting. In that moment, if I had flared up, because it had just happened, and I was here with it. And I remember what I did. I just did a video recording of myself. Like, I just poured everything because I was very mad. And then I shared it with some friends. So I had an outlet for it.
Yeah,
you understand? Yeah. So in building emotional, it's not, it's just, it's all boils down to character. Knowing when to say what. You can't always, sometimes your team may be totally wrong, but you can't always scream, and you can't always, in the presence of people, when do you do some of those things? So it's very important how we taking care of your kids. How emotionally intelligent are you? Because there are things that we do to our kids that scar them
for permanently.
For life. Yes. And so you have to be emotionally intelligent about, and then maybe when you get home, if you have to have a conversation, you do. So it's just knowing how to show up at the right time and
Right.
what to do. That's what I think.
Awesome. You felt that, eh?
Oh yeah.
Now let's take it from your side, because I would bet that in my entire life, there was a point that I was like, you know what, you people can deal with the emotion. People can have that emotional intelligence. Because when I feel it, I will say it.
Yes.
Right?
And you're right.
that's
People
actually
say
right.
that. I mean, this is how I am.
Yeah. When I feel it, I will say it.
Yes. But
then
you get to the point where
you realize
it's
that
not all the time.
No, it's not how it works. And you see, genuinely, it's not an easy thing. I'm going to leave this one to you, then I'll tell you my experience.
Definitely is not an easy thing. But again, like I've said earlier, it's with growth. And there are lots of things that I am sure I reflect and say, look, I definitely wouldn't have done this 5 years ago, 10 years. I'm not that old, the way I keep saying growth and all that anyway. But maturity, you know, growth even in the field, in what you do, in your dealings with people. You have to learn those smart ways by which you can handle situations that present themselves in different ways. That is one of the ways that you have to cultivate it. So that is basically being intelligent about how you handle your emotions at different times and with different people. Because you will definitely come across different people. You will definitely come across different situations. Look, sometimes the people that you feel should understand you best will attack with something that you are like, how do you handle this? You know, so with time you have to learn those smart, intelligent ways of handling situations in the different forms that they present themselves. Because they will come, and we are still work in progress. We're still working. I mean, I'm not leaving my business. We have years ahead of us, so we are still going to learn all the various ways that we need, and you know, all those simple nuggets from coaches and people who have walked the path. You know, there are people who have gone ahead of us in this field that we are in, being parents, being entrepreneurs, being women. There are people who have gone ahead of us. So one of the things that, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into that is finding people who have had experiences and taking cues and actually being intentional about learning how they have walked the road and apply it, you know, to my situations as and when they come. You know, because it's tough. Trust me.
It is.
It's tough.
It is, especially when you want to show up as an emotionally intelligent person, not doing too much, but making sure things are done the way you want them to be done.
The conversation can, you know, so there's always an extreme of something. And, you know, sometimes some people can argue all this emotional intelligence. It's not to say maybe be a fake person. Do you understand? It's not. Some people think that all this conversation about emotional intelligence, it means I shouldn't be who I am.
Pretend
Sometimes
to be.
who you are, it's not the right way for the situation. So it's not to say pretend, show up as someone else, but it's to make sure that you're showing up right. Because even for me, my problem was not that I cannot. My problem was that I was not firm. I'm not stern. And so that is also an issue to address. You have to be able, okay, do this now, do this now, do this now. You have to be able to set those things and not think about how hurting people's feelings. But then you, in between that, you being stern and also being also empathetic towards the people. It's very important.
I like that. You know, there are times where I've heard people say, "Me they say what you said, you know, words are powerful. Where did it land? What damage has it caused? You know, that damage that it has caused, you can't repair. You understand? So be mindful of how you handle these situations. You can't just say anything. You can't just say it because that is how you are. No, you have to be smart about it. You have to be intentional with it. Deal with it in this situation. Look, can we do this? It doesn't mean you have to, you know, be someone you're not, but you have to do it in a smart way.
Smart way. I like the word smart and empathetic because these words, so being smart also means that you've read the room and have understood the person that you're dealing with, that this is how I can reach the person and my message will be clear and I would have communicated, not just said things. So you and I that we have been saying that because I used to say that.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, when my son turned 8, they used to tell me, Mimi, akola no nyawo no obesiao. Then one time he showed up the way I used to show. I said, hey, no
They learn
or
more
wine.
From
our
her,
actions.
Yes.
than from what she's saying.
So for me, I learned it from my house. So when I'm upset with him, I would hold back. And it was hard. Because I know this way I can beat him. At least it's not somebody I cannot beat. This I can face him square. But then when I realized, and again, like yourself, when I started doing it at home, when I started dealing with people outside, it became a bit hard in my head, but a bit easier because then you have, like, you told yourself that you, when the thing hurts you, you hold back and you take. But also the negative aspect of that one was that I held back so much. Now when I explode, then I explode. Then it's like all work done zero. But yes, again, like you keep saying, we're still learning and growing, we're becoming better people. Now, for women who are trying to be in a place of leadership, even in a place of management and what have you, what are the common obstacles that we're faced with? Like something that if you say right now, maybe Anita can say, I can relate. But for you, because you've dealt with a lot of people as a coach, you would have seen that this shows up a lot in women that are building themselves, women that are building businesses. And how can we overcome them? We touch on those ones briefly before we wrap up the conversation.
Right. If for leadership, I mean, wherever you find yourself, you're a leader, whether it's in your business, it's in your workplace, it's in your church. And there's something that I always say. It's the way that you show up, taking responsibility. And you can walk into a space and look in the room, and then you can pick out the leaders. Why? Because it's the way they act. It's the way they take up responsibility without being told what to do. So leadership is a place of service. So it's how you show up in service. If you're 7 people, you would be found. And so sometimes people misconstrue, okay, because I want to be this way, then I want to be a leader. If you are doing the work, you're showing up right and you're doing all the right things, you are a leader, right there. So just honing in your service. So if your skill to make sure that, okay, this thing, I want to be able to serve in this way very well. If there are things that you need to learn to sharpen your skill, to make sure that you're doing it well, you do it. I mean, we've been in this country, we've seen, why would somebody be the marketing manager of X company and then people are looking for that same person to come and manage their company? We've had people move along. It's because they show an exceptional way of doing what they do. And it's not something that comes because they have a certain personality. It's because they actually are knowledgeable and then they are skillful at what they do. And so if you combine those two things and you show up in service right, you are automatically
already
a leader.
Yes.
So leadership is not that I'm the boss, I stand here and I'm commanding. It's actually leadership is service.
Service, right. And the obstacles that we are faced with, Anita, in those areas, because again, you're building character, you're building resilience, you're building this personality. Again, you've taught us that we cannot show up as leaders in a place of authority. You show up as a leader in a place of service. But what are some of the obstacles that we're faced with?
Several. I mean, people have expectations of who you are, or what you should be.
Oh, what you should be is probably the word.
But I think it all boils down to staying true to yourself, knowing who you are. And if you have a purpose, for me, I feel like if you know where you are going, if you really know the path you are on, there will be challenges. But the mindset, if you know that, it's like even dealing with clients, sometimes people expect that I've given you even a rate card or an invoice. And then I'm like, okay, you have to pay this percentage of whatever it is that I've presented. Adding, Why should it be like, you know,
Yeah.
as this one you should be able to just come and put it down, and when I finish I'll pay you. No.
That's not how we work here.
You can't expect that. No, that's
Yeah.
not how it works.
Yeah.
But in the best way, present your how what it is that you are selling, what you are proposing. Present it in the best way. Explain yourself right to the client. Let the person know that this is how it works. Once they understand that this is how it works, you know, and it all boils down to how you even relate. Everything boils down to what you say, how you say it in dealing with people. Get them to understand where you're coming from. And they would respect what you're doing.
What you're doing.
Yeah, what you're about.
Wow.
It takes a lot of effort.
It takes a lot of effort.
It takes a lot of work, but you need to know where you're going, who you are, first of all, and then when dealing with people, you are always more careful. You know, because you know what you want, you know what will get you to where you to. Yeah.
Now, so I'll stay with you before I move to Dedo. You are our partner here on the show, Deco Zone, and you've given us a very beautiful set. She's promised to continue showing up for me. I've
We'll
sued
do
her
our
out.
best.
But I mean, for you, when the entire show was presented to you, that you know it's a women empowerment kind of show, what made you feel like this is a partnership I'm interested in and I would like to come on board? And tell us also about what you do at Deco Zone.
What you do?
Yeah.
Well, so first of all, I'm not an activist or whatever, but I love encouraging women when I notice that they have purpose and they want to do more, because a lot of times, especially now, people get it wrong. You know, a lot of young ladies sometimes feel like, oh, you just get up and, oh, you're looking all nice, and they don't know what goes behind the scenes. So personally, maybe this was a bit of a personal thing, because I've seen how much work you put into what you do.
Oh, thank you.
I saw that, no, this is a young woman who really wants to do something. She wants to achieve a lot. Sometimes when I watch you rattling, I'm like, where is it all coming from? And I loved that. So I honestly like to support and help the best I can when I see that people actually want to do more. So it is coming from you. First of all, you have to make the effort.
Yes.
Because if you are not putting in the work, I wouldn't want to associate with you, really, because I put in the work to do what I have to do and to get to where I want to get to. And with Deco Zone, what we do at Deco Zone, so we came into existence about 5 years ago. Okay. The main aim was to bring in products and pieces at prices that people can actually be able to afford. One, quality. Second, and also, for me, the main aim is to make sure that, look, every Ghanaian home looks good. It shouldn't cost an arm and a leg to do so. Yeah. Basic things that you need for your spaces to enhances life. Decor is life, to be honest, because I ask friends, why is it that when you travel outside, from the minute you enter the country, the airport, there are pots everywhere, there are flowers everywhere, the aesthetics, it's so calming. Why can't I have that in my home? Yeah. Must I go to a hotel before I can have that? No. So at Deco Zone, that's what we pride ourselves in. We try to bring in pieces, things that, are relatable, things that, a piece or two, just place it in your space, your living room, your kitchen, anywhere in the space, and it will definitely elevate the space. It will have an influence or impact on your mood, your personality, and everything. A wall hanging, trust me, can do a magic for you.
I believe that. I
It
totally
can change
believe
how
that.
you feel.
Yes,
It can. It can.
How do we connect with you? How do we find you?
Oh, I say we try to be very active on social media.
No, you're very active on social media.
Because from where we started at Wager, nobody was going to see us if we were not on social media. So we are very active on social media. Our Instagram handles are DecoZoneGH. We also have an experience store in East Legon, a pickup place as well. So if you can't come all the way to Wager, we have East Legon, and we deliver nationwide, even beyond. We actually have clients in Cotonou. And it's amazing how we sit. That's another topic for another day.
You sit in Ghana and make all of that.
And we have people from the Gambia that are patronizing the brand. Wow. So it's huge. So yes, very active on social media. That's Instagram, Now on TikTok as well.
Okay, because I see you create they create a lot of content in that office.
I worry the kids.
Yes, you do.
Yes, so we are very active and then you can reach us on our official line. That's 020-913313. Yes, I hope I got that right.
You did. And if you didn't get the number, you can just jump onto the social media platform. Dedo. Now, for me, my young people that need coaches in their lives, what you do, and also as a coach, please share with us yourself before we go.
Look, this lady here.
She's a lot of things.
She positioned me as I'm like, I have people messaging me, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have time to coach right now.
Right. But
we do things. Okay. So one of the things I do is an annual event where I bring speakers to speak, because for me to do one-on-one interactions, it's difficult. There's only so many people you can reach, and so the event is called the True Life Campus Conference, and so I bring different speakers, and then they share their true life stories, because I am all for. I don't want people to come and say these are the 3 steps to do this. I want shared experiences that can actually impact people's lives. So that's one of the ways that I coach, and then. Every now and then on my page, I try and do videos on either business or just personal life building, which I share sometimes either from my experience or in general. Yes.
And how do we connect with you?
On social media, Dedo Kofi. One and only Dedo Kofi.
Kofi in Ghana.
Special one.
And she's an amazing woman.
And she is so lovely.
My mentor as well.
Because my first time meeting you, I don't remember ever seeing her anywhere before.
Yeah.
It was the warmth she met me with. And then I heard the name. I'm like, I know this name. My father has mentioned this name before. Then I went to her, I was like, oh my God, this is why this man loves this lady, because she is amazing, ladies. And so if you need a mentor, and you need someone to learn from, and you can't connect with her directly, just go on her social media page, Dedo Kofi.
Can I chip this in? You did mention about not being able to have time for everyone.
Yes.
Look, leadership skills, you learn, you don't have to sit in the same seat with the person. I knew Dedo even before we actually met, because I saw her page and I said, oh, I like what she does. I like what she speaks about. So that is how I connected.
Wow.
Before we actually even met in person. So don't sit down and say, oh, I sent her a message, no one answered. Look, you can learn from afar. You never know when you actually get to meet. So yeah, we should invest in doing that.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say something.
Please go ahead.
You know, this is a deep problem. When it comes to learning, like even for the events that we're going to have, trying to get people to come so they can. I am getting people saying that, to get the students to come in, they want to be given X amount of money before they'll come in and listen. And so sometimes you wonder what people are looking for. But as I say, from the young age to say about 16 or 15 or 18, if we put it that way, I think it's upon parents and upon the nation to actually build up the kind of character we want in our people so that they would show up, because it's those same people that will become leaders. And if we're not filling up the people with things that are going to help them become the kind of leaders that we want to see show up. And I feel that we have a leadership deficit. And to be able to do that, we cannot have these conversations and let it happen. It has to be an intentional decision from the root to be able to inculcate certain habits into people as they are growing up. Certain schools do well to do that, but we have a lot of public schools, and
they don't have the luxury.
I wish that it would be an intentional thing that is done right from the top to make sure that we are teaching our children about leadership, the right way to show up.
I think at this point, we just have to have the dish masterclass at this point. But ladies, thank you so much for coming. Dedo Kofi, a business coach, and of course, Anita Okorie, the team lead at Decozone. Once a big thank you to you all for coming. We really appreciate you.
Thank you
so much.
Now,
to you out there, thank you for always showing up for us. Yes, being a part of this beautiful show. And a big thank you to Decozone. I tell you that the idea is what I shared with you, to make your house a home where you're always looking forward to going back home. So please just check them out. Go on social media, Decozone GH, and grab that thing, just something small, something beautiful, something exciting, so that when you're going home, you're looking forward to going home. Okay? All right. A big thank you to Betway Cowbell Coffee, Flora Tissue Tango Washing Powder for coming on board. This amazing, amazing show. And myself, my name is Miriam Mensah. We'll see you again next week. Bye.